Everyone, Sarah here. So I'm here to talk about my work bullet journal. So in this work bullet journal, I was setting it up, and this is like an emergency setup, but I also wanted to be really intentional about what I put in here because, this is the core of all my things, right? This and my planner. So in my work bullet journal, I wanted to keep track of a few things, and the first thing was obviously all my projects. Then I also wanted to keep track of the one-on-ones with my team, with each member of my team, so I dedicated a section in there. And then also I'm trying to prepare for the future because I know that I'm gonna have to write reviews and everything on the team, and I have a large team, so it was really important to me to try to help my future self and kind of putting those reviews together. So let's get into it, and we'll see how I incorporated all those things into my work bullet journal setup. And I'm playing with some new David Allen stuff in here, so I'm really excited. So let's get into it. All right, so I'm using the Lechgrum whatever, and I actually, so this one, it's brand new, but it's not super brand new. I actually set this up originally as my work bullet journal from before, but I kind of screwed up when I was setting it up, so I had to redo it. So I just glued all those pages together. But other than that, it's pretty much brand new. So I glued them together. You can kind of see the ghosting in the background. So here, these are my new stickers that I'm working on putting together, and these are really all through David Allen's Getting Things Done. And I tried to make them skinnier. I was using wider ones in the past, but I realized they were just taking up too much space. I really liked how they looked, but I kind of wanted to tie the theme together, and I wanted to make them a little bit smaller. So I'm just putting these headers in there, and these are lists. So these are the lists that he talks about and kind of customizing those lists. So here I have my team one-on-ones, and I'll show you how I'm going to use that in a bit. So I'm putting several pages in there, and I actually realized I didn't put enough pages, so I'm a little disappointed. I might go pull them off and kind of redo them. So we'll see what happens. And these ones I don't actually write on. I use a Post-it, and I kind of refresh it. So I think it's once a month I do a one-on-one with the team. So I just refresh the Post-it, take notes from the meeting, and then have another Post-it kind of ready for them. So anyhow, Kudos Log. So this is my planning for future Sarah, if you will. So I'm really trying to make it easier for me when I have to write reviews, because I have about 20 employees, so this is going to be a lot of work. So I'm really trying to just be prepared for it. And then my next actions, and I'm putting more next action pages in here because I'm migrating from my other bullet journal, and I did not migrate in this video. Just, you guys don't need to see that. There's so many pages of them. Yeah, so again, I'm really excited about the timing of this kind of need or emergency setup, because I'm really starting to find a groove with the team, because I got them a few months ago. So I'm really starting to find a groove. I was running out of notes, pages in my last one, and I really kind of just needed a new setup, if you will. So these are my new project stickers. So this is something that I incorporated this in my personal bullet journal, which this is my work bullet journal is becoming my everything bullet journal anyway. So I put those projects in there, and the reason why I did that, because so I'll be in a meeting, we'll be talking about something else, and another project will come up, and it could be a requirement or somebody that needs to be involved. And I just wanted a place to stick that note or that bullet point. So I wanted to set up a project page. So I put project, and then I'll put the project name next to it. Okay, so here I'm setting up my work projects, and this was mentally satisfying because I realized I've closed out a lot of projects. And this is, so just now I have to write a self-appraisal on myself, and I have to talk about all my accomplishments for the year. And when I go to do this, I draw a blank. I'm I don't know what I worked on. So I really like doing this because when I have to write my self-appraisal, I can pull out my 2 bullet journals and be like, what did I do? What projects did I work on? What did I close out? What didn't get done? And I can really write an educated kind of self-appraisal, if you will, and go into my review, like prepared. So who would have thought? No, and I always struggle with that stuff. These are things that I've noticed I struggle with in the past. And, one of the things I need to work on is really that self-promotion. I feel I do a good job. I'm not perfect, but I never advertise what I do, or I don't talk about it. And I need to get better at that. Absolutely. So I'm really trying to work on that a lot this year. And it's a little bit why I started this YouTube channel too, because, I kind of started to understand why I was like that. So anyhow, I'm just putting in all my projects here, but I'm not bringing in the ones that are done. So it's really just a fresh start. Okay, so here I'm setting up my team one-on-one pages. And actually, I'm going to kind of set up these post-its, run them through the printer, and I think I'm going to put the person's name down at the bottom on the printer. So I'm just putting post-its in there. So the thought is that every week, every one-on-one, I would look at the last one and the new one, and then I have a fresh one to write any notes from the first one. And I really think I have a talented team, and I want to kind of drive them to be better. So that's why I'm really being intentional about that and putting a plan behind it. So this one here, this is the Kudos Log. So here I'm really just treating it like you see communication logs. I know I use those a lot in project management and kind of communicating with stakeholders and stuff. So I'm using the same format, and I'm just really focused on my team. So the feedback I get from on my team, I'm going to put there, or if I catch them doing something good, then I'm going to put it there, just the date, their name, and then just a note of what it was. And this I'm really hoping will help me kind of drive some real, help me in those performance reviews. So I'm really just treating it like just a quick notebook, and keeping track of it. So I'm putting in the date, the person's name, and I might just throw initials or something, or a code or something like that, and the description of it. And I'm color coding this. I'm not color coding this. I'm lying. I'm doing the alternating column colors in the rows, kind of like Excel spreadsheet. And I'm doing that just because I don't want it to be too daunting that I don't do it. So I just want to keep in mind, I want 2 lines, like the gratitude, 2 lines per day. I just want to do 2 lines, 2 lines, 2 lines. So I don't overthink it, because I know if I overthink it, I'm not going to follow through on it. And I really want to follow through on this, because I think this is a great idea for me anyhow. Because I just forget, and I know I reach out to my team a lot. I'm like, hey, can you blah, 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 and I want to recognize them for kind of that help that they're providing me. So I'm really excited about this part of the bullet journal for work. So I'm just coloring in all the lines here. And I really like how this looks. I might be a little extra here, but I just like it. And this is that N95 Tombow marker. And I love this marker because it's so light that it just is there enough to give you some guidance, but not to really overpower the page. Because I find overpowering stuff really distracts me from what I'm trying to do. So that really is the gist of kind of why I'm doing, that is the gist of kind of my whole aesthetic, because I just know it's distracting to me. And I love how those decorative planners look and all those color codings, but I'm like I get overwhelmed when I have to look at it, but I love watching the videos on it because it looks so nice. So anyhow, so that's kind of why I approach it this way. And I didn't fill out the other Kudos logs because I'm not going to do that. Okay, so here's the project page. So I'm just putting a few things here, a few things that I know I always need. So scope, the team, and then the milestone. So the milestone is that is kind of helps me prepare the timeline of the project and keep on track with it. And then on the other side, so sometimes I might use 1 page or I might use 2 pages, but the second page is leaving blank because I might need to do a mind map or I might need some notes or something, so I'm leaving that blank. So here's the flip through. All right, everyone, so that's it for my work bullet journal setup, and I'll keep you updated as there might be some things I add to this, but so I really like to focus on just keeping track of my projects, keeping track of like feedback from my team, some project work and timing on that, and my next actions, and those are like my life. So next action is the same as to do. In my mind, I separate them. I don't know why. I'm not saying you should or you shouldn't. It just works for me. So find what works for you. So I hope you like it, and thanks for watching. Have a great one. Bye.